Welcome to a fantasy pick'em show, another one, hosted by yours truly, Mike McGee. Okay, outfit for the day, Bears hat, Chicago White Sox throwback, Bears PJs. Okay, rocking it up, sitting on a throne here. All right, right into the quarterbacks, shooting you straight, Derek Carr. Derek Carr is also the Battery of the Week segment, the battery, the Duracell. Okay, he's going against Atlanta, most fantasy points quarterbacks, Derek Carr slinging it around the Raiders playoff team. I see it. They play well against every team. Raiders, playoff team, Derek Carr, start him. Okay, Carson Wentz, we're starting him, unfortunately. But fortunately, okay, Carson Wentz, they're going against Seattle. As you know me, you know FanNoise, we start guys against Seattle's defense. Okay, Wentz has 5 rushing touchdowns so far this year. We're starting him in fantasy. On to running backs. Okay, Todd Gurley. Las Vegas allows the sixth most fantasy points to running backs. Okay, Gurley has 9 rushing touchdowns this year. We're starting them. They don't have much to look forward to in Atlanta, but you could look forward to Todd Gurley on your fantasy team scoring touchdowns. Okay, on to a little segment we got this week, the DJ segment. Okay, we got 3 DJs in a row. Running back, Duke Johnson for the Houston Texans. Okay, David Johnson still on injured reserve. Yeah, that's enough reason to start him. And they're going against Detroit, okay? We say this every week. If you got a guy on offense starting against Detroit, we start him, all right? Easy enough. On to wide receivers, DJ Moore for the Carolina Panthers. Minnesota allows the 5th most fantasy points to wide receivers. Yeah, they played the Bears last week. That's why they look good. Okay, we get it. DJ Moore this week, though, I don't care if there's backup at quarterback. He's gotten 17-plus fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. Okay, DJ Moore, mark it down, start him. And the last DJ we got this week, Deontay Johnson for the Pittsburgh Steelers, all right? This dude is going ballistic. Big Ben loves him throwing the football. And as we said before, Big Ben is also the battery of his team. So the battery is throwing to the wide receiver. He's getting points for you. 10-plus targets in every game he has started fully this year. I mean, that's unbelievable. Easy enough. Easy start, Deontay Johnson. Okay, on the TEs, tight ends. Hunter Henry, HHLA charge. Hunter Henry. Going against Buffalo has the 5th most points to tight ends in fantasy. This is going to be a shootout. I don't know how the Chargers are this bad this year. I really don't get it. It's going to be a shootout. Like I said, high-scoring game. Hunter Henry's going to get a couple touchdowns for you. He's going to make you happy, make you some money, and it's going to be all due to FanNoise. Okay? Last tight end, last stardom, Evan Ingram for the New York Giants. Haven't heard a lot of Giants guys on FanNoise, okay? This week, going against Cincinnati, all right? Allows 2nd most points to tight ends, 9-plus targets in the last, or 3 of the last 4 games, okay? Evan Ingram, mark it down, start him. DJ, Daniel Jones, another DJ, huh? Throwing him the football. All right, that's enough for the stardoms. On to the sit-ems, okay? The guys you really need to know about to sit, all right? Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins, you like that? No, we don't like that, Kirk. You stink. I don't know how you're still in the league. You're terrible. Carolina held Detroit scoreless last week and sacked Stafford 5 times. Okay, Carolina is the 10th toughest defense against quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is bad. We know it. Bad. Sit him. Matthew Stafford, we're sitting him for the Detroit Lions. Okay, held scoreless last week against Carolina. He's still nursing a partial tear in his throwing thumb. It's hard to do as a quarterback to throw with a torn thumb. Okay, we're sitting Stafford. That's pretty easy. Running backs, Melvin Gordon III for the Denver Broncos, okay? Splitting carries with Philip Lindsay. That's enough said. Drew Lock, Denver, it just doesn't look promising over there. We're sitting Melvin Gordon III, okay? And Damian Harris for the New England Patriots. They have 14,000 running backs in that team, okay? He's not a pass catcher in New England, most likely. Playing from behind versus a high-powered Arizona offense. Rex Burkhead's doubtful, yes, but Damian Harris, come on, we're not starting him this week. Wide receivers, okay, on to wide receivers. Amari Cooper for the Dallas Cowboys. Washington is the 2nd toughest defense against wide receivers, believe it or not. The football team, okay, not the Redskins, not Washington, the football team, okay, the football team. They're going against football team. Dallas, Washington. I'm excited for a little Thanksgiving. I'll be feasting. I'll be stuffing my stomach watching this horrible NFC East game. But we also love the NFC East here. So, all right, on to Corey Davis. We're sitting him. Yeah, he was good in college. You were not starting this week, okay? Indianapolis showed who they are against Green Bay Packers, fifth toughest defense against wide receivers, held under 10 fantasy points in previous matchups against Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, okay? Tight end, Jared Cook, New Orleans Saints. All right, sitting him. Surprising, maybe, to some. But they have a tough matchup against Denver's defense, okay? 2 or less fantasy points the last 3 weeks. Come on. Help me out. Jared. 1 catch for 6 yards last week with Taysom Hill at quarterback. You just can't rely on him, and that's why we're sitting him this week. And a guy I love to sit, okay? Trey Burton. I love sitting this guy. I think he's terrible. He's the worst tight end I've ever seen. Less than 6 targets every game this last season. Yeah, he scored a touchdown. Big deal last week, okay? Less than 10 fantasy points in the last 4 games. Give it up, Trey Burton. Give it up, okay? Go get a day job, all right? And now we're on to the wild card segment, okay? Cards are wild. Throw them up. Here we go. Cards are wild, all right? Taysom Hill. How about it, huh? New Orleans Saints quarterback while Breeze is injured, all right? Taysom Hill, if you watch the game, looks pretty good. Can run the ball really fast. Can throw the ball somewhat. He did underthrow a guy heavily, but it was caught. They find a way to get stuff done in New Orleans. Again, this is why it's a wild card. We're leaving it up to you. I don't know if I should start Taysom Hill or not. It depends on what quarterback you're starting right now. But 24 fantasy points in his debut last week. Okay, that's enough to get you over the top for a win if you're fighting for a playoff spot. All right, and then the last wild card, CD Lamb. Okay, this guy's chilling in and out of my lineup every week. I love this one because he's in my lineup this week. Okay. I'm risking it all right? 17 fantasy points the last week against Minnesota, 13 or 14 the last week before that. Nobody knows with Andy Dalton at quarterback, anything can happen, okay? The Red Rocket is throwing him the football, okay? But he is a high target in Dallas, but Washington allows the second least fantasy points to wide receivers. So that's another reason why it's a wild card. You pick them, you decide. We're just here to guide you, all right? And then the last segment we have, which I love to do, getting all angry again, the cut 'em segment. This week, we are cutting every wide receiver in Cincinnati, okay? We're cutting them all, except Big T. We're keeping Big T on the bench just because he's cool, and that's an also praise him, okay? We praised him last week. Big T is awesome, but Joe Burrow's demolished. He's crushed. Cut every wide receiver. Cut every offensive weapon you have in Cincinnati. And one last cut him. We're cutting T.Y. Hilton again. We're cutting him every week. He's going to stay in your face. We're cutting him. Get him out of your life. Like I keep saying week in and week out, he's killing you. You're probably already sitting him. He's a joke of a football player. He can't catch the ball. Stone hands. T.Y. Hilton, sit him. And that right there is a fantasy football show for you, hosted by Mike McGee. Good luck at Thanksgiving. Knock down a few plates. Get it done. Watch some football. FanNoise out.